Okay, so I think we'll get started. My name is Joellen Craig, and I'm with the Pan-Canadian Joint Consortium for School Health. And we have been working very closely with the Propel Center for Population Health Impact over the course of the past couple of years to make some fairly extensive revisions to one of our healthy school planning tools called the Healthy School Planner. So thanks very much for joining us today. And I'm going to be co-presenting with Dana Zumak from the Propel Center at the University of Waterloo. We're going to break the presentation up into a couple sections to try to keep it somewhat dynamic and interesting. And I believe we've slated Dana to kind of kick it off. So I'll turn it over to you now, Dana, if that's okay, and we can control the slides from here on our end. But if that sounds good to you, we can get it rolling.
Sounds great to me. Okay, so welcome everyone, and again, thanks for joining us today. Just to give you a bit of a sense of what we're going to look at today, we're going to do a little bit of, or we're going to explore a little bit about the value of the Healthy School Planner and what it offers to schools, school districts, and health authorities. We'll provide a brief description of the science that supports it. We'll highlight some of the key features of the tool that make it unique, and finally we'll address some of the frequently asked questions that we hear. And we'll also have some time at the end, as Joellen mentioned, to answer any questions that you might have. So you can either keep those in your head, or if you want, you can type them in the little chat box at the bottom of the screen there, and we can answer them at the end. So we often get asked, why should a school complete the Healthy School Planner? We all know that schools are very busy, have lots of competing priorities within the school day, and don't need anything else added to their plate. However, we believe that the Healthy School Planner is a stimulus for several things. So first of all, it helps the school to assess their school environment and how that supports health. So the Healthy School Planner can help schools get a sense of where their school environment currently is. And then once they have a chance to set some goals, take action to make improvements, they could come back to the Healthy School Planner and reassess to gauge where the improvements have been made and to determine where they should focus next. We also believe that it's a stimulus to bring a team together with a variety of perspectives. This provides an opportunity to discuss the responses to the questions. And we've heard from many schools that these are very valuable conversations, that it's sort of eye-opening to hear different perspectives from within the school community. We also believe that the Healthy School Planner helps schools to set goals. So schools receive a tailored report after they've completed an assessment that includes their results in the form of a rubric, as well as detailed recommendations for improving or maintaining, if they're at the top level, their school environment. And finally, we believe the Healthy School Planner helps schools to build a plan for improvements. So again, once schools have their results, we encourage them to take the opportunity to discuss the results with the members of their school team, as well as others in their school community. And from there, they can decide where to take action. And there's also an action planning template included in the report, or schools can incorporate their goals and actions into their existing school planning process. The Healthy School Planner can also offer valuable information to school districts and health authorities. So school districts and health authorities now have the opportunity to request an aggregate report for their local jurisdiction. And these reports really provide a sense of where schools that they partner with currently are in terms of creating a healthier school environment, so that they can determine what areas schools need the most support. There's an application form on the Healthy School Planner website for districts and health authorities that are interested in requesting an aggregate report for their local jurisdiction. We can point out where this page is, but it's on the Contact Us page. And since one of the pillars of comprehensive school health is partnerships, we do encourage that whoever requests the aggregate report, whether it's the health authority or the school district, to share it with the other so that they can work together. So just a little bit of background on the Healthy School Planner. It's been built around current evidence related to comprehensive school health. But that being said, we did have to find a balance when developing the assessments between what the evidence says will work and recognizing that each school context is different. So for example, the evidence shows that schools with a comprehensive school health team have healthier environments, but we also know that what works in one school may not work in another. So to balance this, schools need to determine who it is that's part of their team and how it works best based on their local relationships, interests, and skills. So we wanted to ensure that the Healthy School Planner was valid and a reliable tool, but we also recognized that in order for schools to want to complete it, it had to be usable. So we looked to make sure that it takes about 20 minutes to complete the foundational module. The express modules, which I'll talk about in a minute, are even a little bit shorter than that. As Joellen said, we've gone through some fairly extensive revisions in the last couple of years. We worked very closely with educators at every step while developing the revised Healthy School Planner. And it was important that we received input from across the country so that the Healthy School Planner would be useful in as many settings as possible. So we did have input from 8 different provinces during the development, so whether they were helping us with focus groups or pilot testing, it was important to get their input. And as we mentioned, the Healthy School Planner is built around the Comprehensive School Health Framework. So each module addresses the 4 pillars: social and physical environment, teaching and learning, healthy school policy, and partnerships and services. And it's important to note that these pillars are not separate entities, but they must be addressed all together. Comprehensive school health consists of the 4 pillars that I just mentioned, and those have been drawn from a breadth of experience in schools around the world. The World Health Organization has identified key areas that result in successful efforts to create healthy school environments. While these key areas or pillars sometimes get called slightly different things, there is consistency in the underlying principles. So while most Canadian provinces and territories describe the 4 pillars as I just mentioned, some of them have slight variations on this, but it all really means the same thing. So that being said, if comprehensive school health was as simple as addressing the 4 pillars, schools would be much more successful at doing it. Science also points to factors that are critical in how comprehensive school health works. So as you can see in the apple diagram there, it sort of captures some of these how-tos. So having a committed champion and a leadership team, using a whole school approach, looking for synergy between health and education, employing planning, assessment, and continuous learning principles, and being in it for the long haul with sustained efforts and sustainability planning. We've developed the foundational module, which we'll talk a little bit more of in a minute, to help schools consider these how-tos.
Thanks, Dana. So now I'm going to address some of the unique features and highlights of the Healthy School Planner. So first of all, we'd like to stress that registering for the Healthy School Planner is relatively simple. Schools are able to select their province or territory, their school board or district, and their school name from a drop-down list. And we try to keep this list as up-to-date as possible, but if the school name doesn't appear in the list, there's also an option to add the name. We also ask for basic contact information, and we have the person registering create their own password. More than that, we ask for the primary language used at the school and the grades taught at the school, which allows us to filter questions depending on the grade. As Dana mentioned, one of the key features of the Healthy School Planner is the foundational module. So the foundational module of the Healthy School Planner helps schools to assess how they are going to implement comprehensive school health. So that's the framework in the blue diagram that Dana touched upon earlier with the 4 pillars. So completing the foundational module helps schools understand the key processes for making comprehensive school health work in the school. And this is why you have to start with the school foundational module, and it is compulsory. So basically, the foundational module assesses how you form a team, create action plans, implement healthy school planning across the 4 pillars of comprehensive school health, how you celebrate successes, how you sustain a healthy school into the longer term, and how you monitor and evaluate your progress. Another feature of a healthy school planner is the fact that there are 2 levels of modules. So as I mentioned, the foundational module must be completed first so that schools have a better understanding of the process to support a healthy school community. But after having completed the foundational module, schools can choose specific topic areas that they are interested in. So within each of the topic-specific areas, there is an express and a detailed module. So the express modules assess what we consider to be core indicators of a healthy school community related to the topic area. And then if a school is interested in digging even deeper into a topic area, they can do the detailed module. Another feature of the planner is the fact that it generates immediate results. So these are tailored results, and they come in the form of a rubric because we recognize that these are relatively user-friendly for educators. So in addition to their results, you receive evidence-based recommendations for moving forward. We also want to stress that we encourage schools to complete the Healthy School Planner at regular intervals. So for instance, you could go back and complete it 1 year later, and this is a way for you to look at your baseline data and to guide progress into the future. Another feature of the planner is its many resources. For one, we have a Healthy School Planner guide, and this walks schools through the steps needed to understand the current health of the school community and how to make plans for improvements. We also have a glossary, and that provides definitions for the words commonly used throughout the Healthy School Planning process. We also have an explanation of what the various levels in the feedback rubric mean. And then once you've completed your assessment, there is a resource list, and that's tailored for each province and territory or at the national level, and it's also tailored at the topic level. So for instance, you could go into Manitoba and choose healthy eating and see what resources have been recommended by your jurisdiction. Finally, we have an action planning template, and this provides schools with an opportunity to record your goals and actions for making improvements. And this template is also included in the report that the school receives after completing a module. Another feature is the fact that we have hover over definitions for clarity. So despite our best efforts to make the language within the planner as simple as possible, we do recognize that there are some words that are a bit more technical and that need additional information for clarity. So throughout the planner, you'll see that there are hover over definitions so that your school can be clear on the meaning of the question without having to go back to the glossary. Another feature of the Healthy School Planner is that it's bilingual, so it's offered in both French and English, and users can easily switch between languages as necessary on each page. And finally, we wanted to draw your attention to a Healthy School Planner video. And this video, somewhat in keeping with this webinar, highlights the many features of the Healthy School Planner, but in a bit more depth. So if you want to check out the video, or if you want to share it with any of your colleagues, you can find both the English and French videos at the following YouTube links. So in terms of features, I think that about wraps it up, and I'm going to pass the mic back over to Dana, and she's going to guide you through some frequently asked questions. Dana? Excuse me just one moment. I'm going to check in and see if I can get a hold of Dana. Okay, well, where we seem to have lost Dana and I'm not receiving any messages from her, I can walk you through the frequently asked questions. So the first one is, and we'll go through these together, and then if you have additional questions, we're happy to take those as well. So the first question is, can multiple people from the same school complete the Healthy School Planner? And the answer to that question is technically yes. Multiple people from one school can register independently with their own account and receive their own set of results. But the system will not aggregate results for that school. So if we aggregate at a district level, we can only include the latest record from a single school. So whoever completes it last, it's their record that's going to be included in the aggregate results. So it would be more ideal if participants from the same school completed just one version of the planner with one account. Another question, oh, are you back, Dana? Dana?
Hi, Joellen. Sorry about that.
No trouble. I just took the first frequently asked question, but I'll hand it back over to you for number 2, and I'll mute myself.
Okay, perfect. So another question that we often get asked is if two people can sign in at the same time using the same password, or if there needs to be just one computer and two people working at the same computer. So only one computer can be logged in at a time, and if multiple users with the same password start using it, the user who sort of enters something last will overwrite the other person's responses. So in order to avoid this, we would recommend just using one computer, but that questionnaires can be printed off if multiple people need to see the questions or they want to sort of answer them on their own first to see how they would respond. So basically the short answer is that only one person should record the information online. Okay, so another question that we get asked, will the assessment results of the rubric be sent to just the person who logs in, or is there another way to add another email address to have the results sent to it? So the rubric results will only be sent to the person who has the account in their name, but the report can be saved and emailed to as many people as the contact would like. The results are not emailed, they are accessed directly through the Healthy School Planner website. So whoever logs in has access to the results. So we often get asked a question similar to the one on the screen there, that a group of health champions are working together at a workshop. They're bringing their laptops, they're going to register at the same time. So I get asked if this format is successful. And I do know that this system has worked well for a bunch of different groups in different jurisdictions. And to date, we haven't had any problems with multiple users using the website at the same time. But one tip that I would have for you is just to make sure that participants are using a laptop and not an iPad. While the system does work fine on an iPad, the rubric itself requires Microsoft Word to open. So if they don't have this program on their iPad, it won't open and they won't be able to print. So that will just be the one tip that I have. So the next one, the rubric result that's generated, does it instantaneously get sent to the person who's logged in once they submit a finished module? I know it says immediately, but I just wanted to find out exactly what that means. So yes, as soon as a participant clicks on Generate Report, which is the last screen of the survey, they will be redirected to the main page and their results are available there. So it really is instantaneous. Again, often I get questions just about lost passwords, lost usernames, and that's a very simple solution for us. You can either click on the Forgot Password link right on the site, or you can contact us at any time to reset your password, and the email address will be on the slide here in a minute. Okay, and then this is another situation that seems to happen quite frequently, where there's one health or a school nurse that's assigned to multiple schools and is trying to register for each of these schools. So unfortunately, each school does have to register on their own. You need a unique email address. So what I often recommend is if the school itself has a generic email address, maybe use that one instead of a personal account to register. And that way each school has a unique login. And finally, can you tell me how to change my login and password? So again, this is a pretty easy one. You can either log in with your username and password and then click on the My Account link, which is in that green box on the top left-hand side. And then from there you'll be able to change either the contact information or the password. Or alternatively, we can change the contact information for the school. If you email us the new contact name, we can also reset the password. So it's the same email address there or through the Contact Us feature on the website. So those are all of the frequently asked questions that we have, but we would be happy to answer any questions that you've thought of during this presentation. So you can either type them in the chat box or just go ahead and ask them. We'll give you a minute to unmute all of your lines.
One more thing that I'll mention, just as you might be getting your questions or comments together, is that we will be posting these webinar slides to the Healthy School Planner website, and this has also been recorded, this webinar, so we'll post the recording there as well. We already have the French slides and the French recording available, but we'll add the English, and I'll send you the information for where you can access that through email.
Any questions at all? Does anyone on the line have experience working, either answering the Healthy School Planner themselves or working with schools to complete it? Okay, well, I guess if there aren't any questions, we can wrap up. So thank you so much for taking the time today. If you do have questions that come up after the fact, we would be happy to answer them by email. Joellen, anything else you wanted to share?
I just realized I was talking over a muted line, but I said the exact same thing, Dana. I hope everybody found the webinar useful today and that nobody had any technical difficulties that got in their way of asking questions. But as you mentioned, we're happy to respond by email or even through the Healthy School Planner website. So thanks very much, everybody, and look forward to getting in touch with you by email to share these slides and the recorded webinar. Have a good rest of the day.
Joellen, are you still there?
Yeah, I've been so back and forth playing with the mute. Yeah, just had to hang on to make sure everybody else is done, but that went pretty well, actually.
I'm so sorry about that.
No worries.
I just had